You're seeing a 127-inch screen being displayed in a fully lit environment with plenty of window light bouncing back and forth between the screen. I'm just getting ready to start my day today. Got up a little late, I usually get earlier than this. But the title of the video is why Partay and CROW are not on a level. Number one is, for instance, 127-inch screen sitting in a bay of windows. Usually, demonstrations I see by these two individuals are always in the dark. Now mind, this is not coming at them because of anything they've done, don't take it that way. This is just simply explaining at the end of the day, we do more than they do, than pretty much than any demonstration. Like today, I got to paint 2 wall screens in for a demonstration. I had to go outside and do a demonstration on the screen outside after we hung it up, see exactly the condition of that. Customer demonstrations, soundbar demonstration, which we're displaying how to make a LED light soundbar. On top of that, we had 2 other demonstrations, and we got 3D mapping to do today. That's more than what they do in one day than sitting in front of a screen and explaining some nonsense about something that they can't back up at the end of the day. Now, gentlemen, if you call yourself having real technology, real ambient technology, this is what it looks like at the end of the day. When I get up in the morning, I can turn my screen on and I can watch outer space as window light passes back and forth across my screen. We have more screens than you have. We have more projectors than you have. We have more test environments than you have. And at the end of the day, as I said before, I don't know how these two individuals keep comparing themselves to us or saying they're better than us if you don't do the same demonstrations that we do. No certified demonstrations, no low lumen demonstrations, nothing like that, nothing real serious. You don't do anything real serious at the end of the day. So, yesterday, I had to be up, had to paint an entire theater room white, almost done with that. Then after painting the entire theater room white, to a certain degree, I got most of it done. Well, actually, at least I say, out of 100, I say about 90% done. Then had to go back into the next room across from me and paint an 144-inch black screen, and then display off that for demonstrations to get that set up for another theater room. So what we do here is we set up different areas in the house that will allow you to get an idea of how the technology works. Like over in here, we have an ultra short throw projector Sony on the floor. That cost me roughly around about $300. Let me see if this can cut on. There we go. I got to change the lamp out for that one. I got lamp change out coming up, dude. We have so many projectors that we have to do lamp change out. But these are individual, or lamp change out. These are individuals at the end of the day who swear up and down that they're doing the same thing that we're doing, but in every demonstration, it's the same thing. Same screen, same projector. Same screen, same projector. I forgot to add the environment too. Same environment too. I need to find out what happened to the remote control for the ceiling. Because that one we do need. And that is around here somewhere. So we have this one here. This is what happens when you have a bunch of fire sticks running through your house. So let me show you what I have to go through my day to prep for demonstrations and all that good stuff. So when I explain to these individuals that don't understand, we do more demonstrations, we do more work in one day than they do pretty much probably in about a whole month at the end of the day. And this is all the stuff I have to do. Now this screen right here, this was built. I built this screen, the screen in the next room, I built that one. So I got rid of I had a, what did I have in that section over there? I'm trying to think of the screen we had. Oh, we had a 126-inch Elite screen over there. Took that down and put in a levitating acoustic screen over there. Over here, we had multiple screens here. We had fixed screen screens, 235.1s, you name it, we had all over in this section, multiple projectors. This one was changed out finally to an acoustic 48-inch 1610 that can be used, yes, with the lights on. Make sure she's not playing tricks on me. Sometimes these remote controls, I tell you can click them, they won't respond right away. And I have to go on the hunt and figure out it's the same remote control. But this is a 148-inch at 1610. This is custom built, which means at the end of the day, we don't buy anymore. We basically, if we want something, we build it or paint it to a wall or whatever, but we decide we're not buying any more fixed frame screens to do the fact to show our customers at the end of the day that you really don't have to go out and buy a screen. If you want to, you can build it that easy. This is definitely remote control for the ceiling. Has to be. All right. Got to figure out where these remote controls went to. This is what you have to do. When you talk about ambient light projection, when you're showing demonstrations pointing up at the ceiling, I don't know why you point up at the ceiling. There's no light actually hitting your screen. When you point at the door and you say, oh, there's light coming through the door. No, there's no light physically hitting your screen. Where my screen sits, that light constantly hits it because it's sitting next to two huge windows. And at that, it's not a small screen. It's a 127-inch screen. My projector is a 600 by 800 720p projector. I downgraded my projector. My projector that used to be there was 5,000 lumens, 1920 by 1200, and it was a big boy Boss Chrissy, which means it was a high-end venue projector. That projector right there is lower than you and Partay's projector using your demonstrations. Much lower. $150. 600 by 800 720p SVGA that sits 18 feet away from a screen. Not ultra short throw, not hugging up on top of the screen at 3,000 lumens, 18 feet away. And I can pick up outer space in my living room on a screen that's much larger than yours, on a projector from a farther distance, on a projector that's way below your projector specifications, and can pick up a 100% contrast level that far away with that much light hitting the screen. So excuse me, when I see you guys opening up doors and looking at the back window to go, oh, look at the light coming through the window. That's why I laugh at you at the end of the day, because that's what my screen goes through. My screen doesn't sit and have to wait for the window light to make it to the screen. My screen literally is there where the window light is sitting. If you look at my environment where the screen's sitting at, you notice white sofas, white, everything's white in that section, nothing's dark. Everything's well lit in that area. There's no dark shadows, nothing. And I don't even have the overheads on yet. Ceiling projection screen. You guys, again, pointing to doors again. When you point to doors, lights in the next room, even in Partay's demonstration, we shows the condensed lighting up on the ceiling. Guess what? My screen actually sits in the middle of my ceiling at 150 inches on a $140 projector at around almost 9 feet. My ceiling's almost near 9 feet. So I don't get it when you guys show off these demonstrations, you're showing lights around the environment. You're not ambient light rejection technology. If you were ambient light rejection technology, when your product gets over here, it would do the exact same thing this is doing right now, but it can't. It'll wash out because it can't see contrast levels and any of that good stuff at the end of the day. Let's see what we're going to do with this right here. I think I just want to do, I don't know what I want to watch up here. Oh, let's do the, let's turn, oh, no, I don't want to do this. I want to turn the ceiling to the ocean. That's what I want to do. Now, y'all can't say that. Can you imagine that being part of their vocabulary in one of their demonstrations? I don't know. I don't want that demonstration. I want to turn the ceiling into an ocean. You don't have that option. We have that option. That's why I never can understand why in your demonstration, see the sunlight hitting my screen? I can never understand why in the world do you sit here and do these demonstrations comparing yourself to us? I can walk outside right now. I got a 150-inch screen sitting out there waiting for me. Partay has all that land, and you got that little tiny screen out there showing off a demonstration. You see how much light that's coming through my window? It's hitting the screen. Let me show you. The light that comes through transfers from here to here. That screen is absorbing all that light. So the next time you guys come on YouTube and you show off your environments claiming you have ambient light, don't bother pointing at the ceiling. Don't bother opening up a door. Don't bother showing us a window that is covered with these display cases blocking all this light. Do a real demonstration with ambient light. As I told you before, when you do a demonstration, nothing is supposed to be blocking the windows. Oh, my goodness. It's amazing. I do these demonstrations to give them a constant reminder at the end of the day that in somewhere they live in this delusional, fictional world that they actually literally believe that what they have is the same as us. And you don't do the same. Your environments don't even match us at the end of the day. For Crow owns a P2 projector, I'm buying the same projector. Do you see what the environment I'm painting that looks like? You see my environment that I'm transforming to looks like? That thing is going to be super bright white. When you walk in there, it's crazy white, bright as it is. That's not even the LED lights we're going to install in to brighten the area up even more. We're trying to get a meter to max out in the area. That's how much light we want in there. And meanwhile, you're doing demonstrations on that projector on a 100-inch screen, and you have to look over on objects close enough to see if you can see what they are. Pockets of dark corners, all that nonsense. There's going to be pockets of dark corners in an environment at the end of the day. And my screen size that's going in that room is going to be 150 inches. Because if I'm going to pay for that projector, I'm sure enough the heck going to challenge the freaking daylights out of it. Let's see what it can do. The sad thing about it is, like, when I tell people about projector performance, when you have a projector like these right here, these projectors, people will bypass these machines because they think at the end of the day, they don't have the capability to do this, and they don't have the capability to do that. And the sad thing is they do. They do have that capability. The only problem is that the companies who develop these projectors put them on crappy screens that didn't give them the ability to be able to do what they needed to do at the end of the day. And our technology allows those screens to see that. So, you guys consider yourself to be on our level. All right? So you should be to do everything that I do today with no problem. Now we got to go upstairs. We have to paint 2 projection screens with the Black Widow 38. I had to go outside and do testing today on 138 in freezing cold weather. And then after that, I have demonstrations I have to do in here in fully lit environment. So you should have no problem following every last demonstration that I performed today. If you said you're on the same level, then you got to get painting. Other than that, you're not on the same level. So let's show you people what we're doing today, since we got that done. Oh, I forgot, we got to spray on an acoustic screen today too for a demonstration. Forgot about that. All right, first things first, I need to find remote controls because we have remote control for the ceiling. We don't have, oh, I know where this remote control is at. I keep it over there, I forgot. Long story short, long story. That's for the Chrissy. Keep it over here. Tropical fish. It should be over here. Now, the reason why it's over here is because for some reason, I don't know why, well, we don't know why. Just go over a bunch of, here somewhere. Keep it over here for a reason. I'm going to be displaying that screen today. But I need to find a remote control for it first. Chances are it's in a weird place. Then I gotta be outside today to check out the other screen. That has to be done. This remote control is somewhere over there because this room, I never watch in this room. This room is just for abstract art. That's all it is. I just play fish off at 24/7 here. That's all it's used for. I don't really use it for anything. So usually when I'm back there watching TV on that screen over there, because I like to have this one playing while that one's going on at the same time, that screen back there, they play the weirdest stuff on the screen. So stuff will pop up in the middle of the screen and just display the dumbest stuff. And I don't feel like going back and changing it. So I keep the remote control over there. Apparently I walked off with it. We got it here, just have to figure out where here may be. But until then, I'm not worrying about it, I just have to find it. So then I'm cutting this one off until we can figure out exactly where the remote control. That lamp is already flickering, it needs a new lamp, so that's when the lamp repair. Right now, I need to figure out where in the world the stuff you want for this one is going to. Alright, let me show them what we're doing today. Keep track of my stuff. So for them, they get up on a paint a screen in, get up on top of a screen, show a demonstration. That's it. We do custom builds over here, so we custom build all kinds of stuff over here. Something we want, we engineer, we put it together, we build it. Then on the other hand, they don't do that. Then pretty much all the screens we have, either they buy, but they don't build anything over it at the end of the day. And they do build, I don't see much of it at the end of the day. So when we get up in the morning, we have all kinds of demonstrations we have to do against our products. More than just getting up in the dark or some poorly lit environment with an overpriced projector and going, voila, look. It looks great. No, we have to do more than that at the end of the day. So we need to find the fire stick for that one, which we had yesterday, but we don't have today. So then I gotta go hunt that one down. I'm not gonna do it here in the video because I have no idea where I stuck it at. I do know I have it. Unless we got some extra ones upstairs in the multi screen environment. We may have it up there, not sure. Well, this is one of my headaches for the day. Not figuring out where the fire stick's at. We got a lot of them. Two on the floor, right here, so those in the door. They belong to this unit over here. Just have to find the unit. We got the one for the ceiling, so that's usually one I use the most. So that's good. We got the one here, so that's good. All right. So, when you guys get up in the morning, well, we know what you do. You don't do anything at all, period. You, like I said, you don't have a company. A company means you start your day working at your company. You guys work jobs. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that, but you can't claim to have a company if you don't spend enough time there. But it's not a company at the end of the day. I spend over 12 hours a day at my company, more than that. That's the soundbar we built on top of the screen when I was showing people at the end of the day. That's my software update coming through telling me that, oh, you got to do. No, we're not doing this right now. We can reschedule. Thank you. All right. I'm so busy. I don't get time to do software updates on my phone. I'm literally that busy. So this is a soundbar. We built the light up soundbar that goes over top the gaming screen that Amazon wanted a whopping $60 for something that was about that small and about that wide. I'm like, no, we're not paying for that. We'll build our own. And this is the one I actually designed. Actually, Lord bless me to be able to design this one. That's the one that sits up on top of the soundbar because we're getting ready to paint the screen downstairs. So the time it takes for you guys for one screen, we've already gone through, I don't know how many screens we're doing right now today. This right here, which I got to repaint again. How did this get dirty? This is some whole section we're designing right here by itself. But this is the stuff that I usually have to do when I get up in the morning. Now, you see that whole floor over there? I got to take the entire floor out, turn it over, because the other side got filthy dirty. As you can see, it's dirty. That comes from paint. That's not all dirt. That's actually paint over paint over paint splashing against the screen. That's what that is right there. So I have to pull everything out, take apart half of the screen to basically pull out the entire floor, to flip the floor over, to get it ready so it looks nice when I do demonstrations down here. Meanwhile, I have to finish it off the screen down here. Let me take my Wi-Fi off because we're going to need this off because we're about to bounce outside. This is the gamer screen, half painted. So I got the corners, that's done, and the gamer screen has, I think, 5 support rails in it. So there's one in the middle, there's one here, there's one here, one here, one here, to keep the screen from moving from side to side because this is a pretty big screen. So this one right here has to be painted differently. Now, I'm going to roll over it lightly to cover it up because I'm not taking anything off the wall. It has a ton of lights embedded into it, and it'll be a nightmare to take it off and basically wire the lights back in. Not doing that. We're going to paint the entire thing white against the wall. So what we're going to do is, we did the edges, so we got the edges nicely. We're going to roll the screen in first, so it's covered. Keep in mind, we're going to do a soft roll. So a soft roll means at the end of the day, we're not going to have, it's going to be less of those lines. You see this right here in the middle? This is what happens when you don't pad your bar. You get that line that puts right in the screen. The screen has one here, here, and here, and here supports. So when we coat this thing, we're going to do a light roll first, cover it first, and then we go over top of it with a sprayer and we smooth it out. Boom, 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 done. That's what erases these right here, erases these right here by doing a light coating. It's like dusting your screen. That's pretty much what it is. Very easy to do. We can coat the entire screen, finish it while it's standing right there without moving it. That's why I said with PARTAY's paint, due to the fact that you have to lay a screen perfectly flat. This is a 29-inch screen, 1610. You're not pulling this off a wall. This thing has LED lights embedded all through it. If I take this thing off the wall and lay it down under your standards of your products, you know how much a nightmare would be for me to put this thing back up? This is a pretty big screen for me to lift and put it back up by itself, including wiring all the LED lights. We could do it while it's standing right up against the wall and be done with it. Easy, fast, quick. That's the whole purpose. Your product requires for the product to be taken off and laid on the floor. Not a good idea. And on top of that, he doesn't advise you painting or building any form of customized screens this way because he says the screen's going to push in, push in, push in. There are things you don't know about when it comes to home theater that you guys are completely oblivious to. First things first, I did a demonstration showing you how to basically, that's fabric, by the way, how to take a fabric surface and turn it into a solid, a straight, solid board. Just multiple coats of primer, like starch. If you take a shirt and you starch it over and over again, you can stand it up at one point. Well, it's the same thing with this. When you do a fabric surface, they're the same surface. This and this are the same surface. The reason why I like this surface right here, because this surface is different from any other surface. It stretches, it's spandex, it stretches around the frame. When you saw me do the demonstration of painting this in, you saw the screen going blotchy. That's what they're supposed to do. Because you're going to have some areas soaking more, some are going to soak in less. That's your first application. Second application of primer that you put on it. You only need two. That's all that does is just keep the screen from absorbing in paint and giving you a nice smooth area to paint on so your screen doesn't become too blotchy. But if you add in 4 more coats, the screen becomes stiff as a board, just like that one over there. That over there looks like a board, but that's actually a screen. There's a trick to how you do that because you have to have this particular surface right here. This is the acoustic surface. The acoustic surface is going to stretch, mold around the screen. Then once you paint it, it's going to start to expand bit by bit by bit, tightening the screen. Once you put your first and second on, that's going to require for the screen to not absorb any more paint. That's finished. Then you put an extra 4 coats onto that, and that causes the screen to have this really stiff effect. See how super flat that is? There you go. That's how we do it. Not only in our demonstrations do we show people how to use our products, but we teach them all kinds of cool tricks on how to utilize our technology. So now at the end of the day, you'll spend about $28. Now the surface is about $48. This is a 150-inch 16.9, $48 for the surface. And we just showed you how to turn this surface into a surface that looks like that. That'll be ultra short though, compatible with no problem whatsoever because the surface is going to be super flat. There you go. That's all how that was done. I did it right on camera to show people how to do it. So when I tell you that we do more in our day than they do, well, look at the floor. See the floor right here? Today I got to come down here. I got to remove the entire floor. I told you, yesterday, after painting an entire theater room on one side, painted a 144-inch screen, and I was tired yesterday. Got back up after eating, watched a little TV, did a demonstration up the screen upstairs. Got up in the morning, which I'm right now because I got a little later because I need to sleep. Got up and now I got to remove out the entire floor. We got to vacuum everything in the shop, every corner, every crevice, everything has to be vacuumed out. Flip the surface on the screen. Get ready to get that all painted up because we got the corners done. So now we got to go and we got to do a soft roll, go over top of the screen and then hit it with the cannon. Once we're done with that, clean up the cannons. We got another demonstration to do on the acoustic of this technology, which we're going to be doing, which I don't have. The snow's not going yet, so that's still there. And then over there, you see that screen right there? That's a plexiglass screen that was rolled on with a paint roller. That's going to be for the kitchen demonstration because I'm putting a plexiglass screen in my kitchen. So those are demonstrations I had to do right there. Oh, and I forgot, we got 2 wall screens we're going to be painting today. We got to paint 2 wall screens. So my solution was that the screen we have, the 2 screens we have upstairs, when I painted over them yesterday, they kept coming up blue. And I'm like, oh, that's not going to work. That's going to be multiple coats of painting. But realizing that if you take the 38 and you roll over that screen and then you roll over it, it eliminates it. That's the screen we're not selling anymore. We're not selling the dark platinum blue. That was a platinum blue was up there. We're not selling that. But in order for me to get rid of that screen so I can recoat the wall white, which we need for the P2, we're going to coat over it with two painted screens from the 38 Black Widow. We use those for demonstrations. When we're done, we just coat right back over top and we're done. That's it. Because I don't want anything painted on those walls upstairs. We're going to do a wallpaper screen we have to do this week. We have a motorized projection screen we have to do this week. I have 2 fabric screens, 180, 150 have to be painted this week. And then I have more demonstrations on top of that. Now, this is what I mean by I said we do more in our day than you guys do. See this right here? This is a demonstration we're doing for a company right now. This right here is to show at the end of the day that this is our product, 38 on one side, this is fabric. They want to see a demonstration between which ones are different ones between the two. This is a demonstration we're doing on wood, showing that you can paint wood with the 38 technology and turn that into a projection screen. These little individual screens, one by one, see these right here? 1, 2, and 3. These are used for 3D mapping. You know why? Because they're spread apart. We're going to do this upstairs on the white wall, which I can't wait. It's going to be looking freaking cool. That's going to be I got to take apart my picture. And yeah, and now I got to take apart all this equipment and transfer that upstairs. But we're going to put this on the white wall, and we're going to 3D map this bad boy. So you're going to see a solid white wall, these black squares, and you'll see images popping off the black squares. That's for another demonstration for another company we're doing. So yeah, this is just the beginning of what I do in my day. So when people are sitting there saying, oh, my CROW saying, my company, you don't have a company. You have a hobby. That's what you have. A company means that's the only place you're going to be working at, and that's where you're going to be at from dusk till dawn. That's where we're going to be at. Why do I have so many demonstrations? Because we have so much stuff to show you. They don't have nothing to show you. What do they have? We go in the dark, turn the projector, get close up on top of the screen. Ooh la la. That's it. I got so much stuff to show you in a day. There's really, at the end of the day, I got to pour it over for the next day. Oh, I wanted to show them this, how to build this, how to put that together, how to design that, how to put that, so and so and so. There's too much stuff to show you, and there's so much information you're supposed to have in the video that they never give you in the demonstrations. Why are my demonstrations so long? Because there's so much information for you to know. If I'm doing a demonstration on the screen, you got to see it against certified screens, shouldn't you? You got to see it against different color levels, shouldn't you? You got to see it on contrast levels, don't you? You got to see it on white levels, don't you? You got to see it on different caliber projectors, don't you? There you go. That's why videos take so long. And then you have to explain exactly what we're doing in the video, because I can't go up there and go, voila, boom, we're done. No. That's why at the end of the day, we do more than you guys do. And at the end of the day, I don't have time to be clean on camera because I'm constantly working on something, constantly. If I'm not covered in paint, I'm covered in dirt. If I'm not covered in dirt, I'm covered in sawdust. Something I'm always constructing, building, and putting together for demonstrations. You guys can do that because you don't do any work at the end of the day. You don't show. When you tease Mr. Bird, oh, Mr. Bird comes on. No, Mr. Bird works at the end of the day. Mr. Bird constructs giant screens in his backyard, constructs new formulas. We got chemicals over there we're working on right now on liquid technology, hologram technology. We work at the end of the day. That's what the difference between when I come on camera and I'm covered in dirt. That means at the end of the day, Mr. Bird put his time and he worked. You guys come on camera, you're clean. You don't do no work. And your product shows for it. That's why you have canceled orders, because you bring your product down here, you know what your product's going to go through. There's no way in the world you would survive this environment. Not even out there. You don't work at the end of the day. What company do you know that somebody basically doesn't put the time in? Everybody has to put the time in. You don't work at the end of the day, and it shows in your product. Because if you had confidence in your product and your product actually did work, we wouldn't have cancellations. If any one of those big companies right now say, hey, Mr. Bird, we'll give an NDA, send it over, it's going over. Because I know at the end of the day, my product's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to kick their behind. That's what it's designed to do. You have no confidence in your work. Not enough alone, bad enough, you don't even know exactly what you're selling at the end of the day, because you can't even explain what you're selling on camera. You can't even explain it right. PARTAY comes in with all this freaking quantum physics of stacking and optimization and all this stuff, and can't even explain his own product at the end of the day. Break it down, show a video, let's see what it's about. Does it really work? Nothing. CROW's talking about 2 quarts of paint, go into paint in a 300-inch screen. Again, we're going to keep bringing it up. It's the silliest thing I've heard in my entire life. I came downstairs, I couldn't even get 2 quarts to go into a 250-inch screen. Didn't even work. I don't know where you came up with that one. And then did some Dr. Seuss math by saying that, oh, you could take 3 100-inch screens and that equals the equivalent of a full-size official 300-inch screen. No, it does not do that at the end of the day. I don't know where you got Dr. Seuss math from. Oh, perfect. Perfect name to call it. Dr. Seuss Math. That's what we're calling it. Dr. Seuss Math. That's where literally. No, Sam I am. No green eggs and ham. It's not going to work. Misleading information on your website. It's the reason why you don't have any form of real serious specifications on your products at the end of the day. It's because your product is nothing special about your product. That's all. A product that has the ability to do interesting things, it's going to have an extremely long specification sheet compared to a product that doesn't have really any nothing special about it. It's not going to have nothing on it because there's nothing for you to explain to put on it because there's nothing there. That's why your specifications are just short and sweet. That's it. Blah blah this, blah blah that. That's it. Done. What about the other tests? Shelf life. There's all kinds of tests that you don't do on your screens at all, period. Neither one of you have done 150 inch. I got 150 inch outside right now. I can give you a challenge right now to do 150 out right now. Y'all can't even do it. Y'all don't level up to us at the end of the day. Y'all try, but y'all don't come close. And at the end of the day, I can prove 100% that the products that you make, not only can we make them over here, but they will match house paint at the end of the day. Our products don't match house paint because we did the test. We did the demonstrations. We can back it up. On the other hand, you can't. Oh, well, good luck with that because like I said, at the end of the day, PARTAY, your stuff's coming here. CROW, your stuff is coming here. You know, that band nonsense, that's not going to work at the end of the day. Now, when we got individuals that can purchase a product, bring it down there and put it on the table at the end of the day. It makes it look worse because at the end of the day, these are two individuals, one a grown man walking around in his backyard making false accusations that I canceled orders, but yet didn't show any form of documentation on these cancellations. You should also have two of these. One from PayPal, which shows the money being transferred back to our account. Second from the server, showing the transaction of the receipt. Where's the receipt? There is no receipt at the end of the day. But yet we were able to do this to you 5 times on camera. Watch you cancel out an item over and over again. Yep, he canceled out an item 5 times on camera. And each time he went and we played his video about cancellations. And then it got so bad for him that he literally, and we have it on recording. Can't make it up. We got it on recording of him actually shutting down an entire marketplace. We got a 404 error code on a do-it-yourself marketplace belonging to his website showing he pulled this entire marketplace to keep us from making a third purchase. PARTAY gave us back our money so fast, as I said before, we were able to purchase all 3 items on the same day without going back into the banking account and grabbing any money. He put that money back to the account that fast. That was the best. And mine, this is on his 22 new screen paint. They're supposed to be the best of the best. But for some reason, you cancel out when it comes to us. CROW, on the other hand, 15 cancellations. That's a lot of cancellations. And in him, even worse, because CROW sends us an invite to buy. Right to the page, right on live. So we went in and we bought. And he canceled every single order. And now he got so frustrated with canceling the orders and giving us back the money, he started writing little messages in. Why do you guys give us ammunition at the end of the day? It's like, hey, look, I know we're going against you, but here's our weapons here. Take this massive crate of ammo, and we're take the bulletproof vest. We're just going to line up against the wall, and you just trash us. That's pretty much what you do to it. That's what we do to you guys all day. So they gave us a ton of ammunition. He gave us an email, and in the email, he goes ballistic. He talks about, here's the link, buy here, be a man, buy here, buy all you want. When somebody tells me to buy all I want, guess what? I'm going to buy all I want. That's what I'm doing. Then the minute we start making purchases, then the rants come in. Little messages, harassment, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You're banned. Again, in the forum sites, they laugh over this. How do you ban somebody that you just gave an invite to come in and buy? So, technically, at the end of the day, we're banned, and we're not banned, CROW. Understand it, we're not banned. But we're banned due to the fact that we came in and bought from you and gave you money. Do you know how much money I just transferred to your account? Think of, 15 times 85. That's a lot of money that went through your account. So that's why CROW claims we're banned and just blah, 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 because we gave him money on something that he allowed us to go do. Go ahead, go buy from us. Okay, no problem, go buy from me right now. Oh, no, cancel the order. Told you, because you can't back your product at the end of the day, and you can't. It's sad, but it's true. You can't back your products at the end of the day. How many projectors do you guys own? You use crutch projectors. You know why I call them crutch projectors? Because that's a projector they had to depend on. All their demonstrations will be done under those projectors, like companies do it all the time. It's a crutch projector because they know that particular projector is going to give them better contrast, a little better color. It's going to give them a little bit of something a little better. So we call that a crutch projector because that's a projector they have to depend on. So when they do demonstrations, it'll always be under the P2. It'll always be in that dark environment. It'll always be in that same size screen. There you go. We don't do that over here. We got different projectors that we use. We can change it anytime we want. That projector right there is a $60 projector that we used yesterday to display upstairs. We usually have it down here. Moved it to a whole entire different environment. You're supposed to have multiple projectors, gentlemen. At the end of the day, the customer needs to see the screen being displayed on more than one different kind of projector at the end of the day. I even got a stack of, down there is a stack of projectors. We got the small ones. They're like 60, 70 lumens. We even got some portables over here. And we do portable demonstrations on portable screens because we had people asking about portable setups. So we have them over here. So we got projectors everywhere in the house. I got 5 more of these sitting upstairs in the attic right now for some other demonstrations we got planned. I don't put the time and I don't put the work in. And the reason why I don't put the time and the work in, there's another Epson projector I forgot was sitting over there. We got to use that for a demonstration too. Y'all don't put the time in, man. Oh, I forgot. We got to be outside, don't we? Yeah, we got to be outside, man. I got to test this. Go look at this screen. This is a screen we put outside. It's a Black Widow. We stuck outside and we did a demonstration in the snow. Again, now, Crow, I can't vouch for him in the snow. He lives in California, so he can't do that demonstration. That's virtually impossible for him. But PARTAY, you live in Jersey. You should have definitely had that demonstration, a demonstration like that done. Due to the fact that you have all that land out there and you got this little tiny 4x whatever that we painted on that surface. No. Let me show you how you do it. First things first, when you do a panel demonstration, do it on an official screen, like a 100-inch screen. So that way the customer can understand how much work he's going to have to put in to paint that screen. The demonstration you did when you painted the screen 4 times, that's easy if you're doing a screen that's 4x5, that's nothing. Now you're doing a screen 4x7 feet, oh, then the work changes. That's 10 times more work because the screen is much bigger. So what you did in your demonstration is a bit of miscommunication for your customers because when they paint that screen in, it's not going to be the same equivalence as that small sample sheet. When you're painting the screen at 100 to 120 inches, it's a much bigger screen. It's much more work. Yet at the end of the day, you should have done an official 100-inch screen, and then you should have set that up in your theater room, not under a fireplace where no light's hitting the screen at the end of the day. And even the screen you have sitting in the corner, you custom built that room. So I noticed when you custom that room, you made a pocket for your screen to fit in, which means it doesn't really hit any window light, and the condensed lighting over top doesn't really make contact with the screen because the screen has a physical lip underneath the screen, like a cliff like this, where your screen sits in, where the ambient light can't even touch it. Because at the end of the day, if that did work, all you would have to do was go in and basically turn on your projector, turn it off, and show the ambient light hitting the screen, making the arches, like we did in our last house. You can't do that because you have your screen tucked underneath. You know what you were doing when you built that theater room. You wanted to give it the illusion that the screen's actually taking in light, but it's not actually really being hit by light at the end of the day. That's why when you were doing the demonstration, when you moved your camera over, you had the Chromecast running. I used to have those in the house. And I noticed that the bottom of the screen was completely washed out. If it was washed out and that little bit of light in that environment, I couldn't imagine what it looks like if you open up those windows. So when he does the windows, what he does, he uses these white blinds. And we use white shades. White shades, when the light hits it, it gives the illusion that there's light coming through the window, but there's no physical light making contact through the shades. We know all those tricks already. You have objects sitting in your windows, just like Crow does in his massive display case, all that nonsense. Now, when we do demonstrations in here, you see this? I never point at the windows. You know why? We don't use them. Nowhere in the world, this is really going to make any contact in here at the end of the day. You know why? My kitchen sits underneath of it. My deck sits underneath the kitchen. So really no light's going to come through here. No point in showing this off. No point in opening up the door for what? That's not going to make contact anything. It may hit that. I don't know. You see me pick my camera and tilt in the next room. We got highlights in there that we have in here. No, that's not going to make any contact in here. That's going to hit the back of my screen. That's as far as it's going to go. The washer and dryer, the cleaning sink, the sofa, this, it's not coming through here at all, period. So I would never do this in the video. Look at the ambient light here. I love this one. And they're going to lean over. We got light over here. No, it's not making any contact. It's in the back of my screen. Now that is hitting my screen. And even with that light in here by itself, it maxes out the meter. That's the only light I'm going to show off. But you will never see me open up a door and go, oh, oh. The only time I do a door demonstration, unless I had the screen physically sitting in the door, which we've done this before. Take a screen, shove it in the door. Now my screen's physically being hit by door light. No point in me opening it up, because if you have light, and I'm trying to explain this to Crow, how light works. When light comes through, if it's hitting that section is going to be illuminated by that light. If you open up a door and light is only cascading from here to here, and it's dark here and here, that means the light back there is not reaching there because that area is still dark. And your demonstration, when you pointed over, you kept showing this section here that had the light here, but when you moved over, there was this pocket of black here all along the side of your wall, enough that your black lighting on your bookcase was well illuminated, which means there was no light to cancel that out. You don't understand the physics of light. And the fact that if you have to lean over that close to an object to show customers what it is, then it's a problem. Do you see the statues sitting on my table right here? You can see that perfectly fine, right? There you go. See the Sonic over there? If I have to get this close to an object to show you what it is, then the room is too dark. Basic common sense. I should be over here, where my projector sits at, and I should be to see all the objects on my table, everything in the environment with no problem whatsoever. This is why we consider your demonstrations to be fake. Now, getting back to Mr. Partay, or Mr. Danny, how you want to call yourself. The demonstration you painted on the surface, you should have had a 100-inch screen outside. That's what you should have outside. A 3x4, whatever that surface was, should have never been outside. You tried to show it at 12 feet back. Everybody knows that trick. Now, maybe your customers, they might not be able to pick up on it. Like I said, they count on people that are not going to be educated in the field, and people are not going to know this is what they want. They do not want somebody like me or somebody that may know something about projection. They don't want that in the day. That's the person that's going to question their bull crap. That's why. When you did the demonstration, your screen was about that size, around that size. There's no way in the world, if you stick that outside, you're really going to get a real understanding of how your screen's going to work. Because the thing about it is, when you make a screen that is about that size, or 150-inch screen outside, that means your screen is going to take in 10 times more light because the screen is bigger and it's going to absorb more light. Which means you can have your corners could wash out. You could maintain an image in the middle, but your corners might wash out. And that's going to be an automatic fail. When you do a screen outside, it's supposed to show from corner to corner, crystal clear. Everything is supposed to come up, contrast, color, everything at the same time. If you do a screen smaller, the chances of the corners not coming out are very, very low. So what Partay did in his demonstration, he took a surface like this, stuck it outside and said, look, it's 12 feet back. 12 feet back. Do you understand? If you had a projector like that one over there, right? Standard throw lens. You pull that thing back 12 feet, it's going to have a 100-inch screen staring you in the face at 12 feet. Now, if you take the zoom and you move it all the way down to the very last end, making the screen smaller, then as you pull the projector back, the image starts to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Then you can have it back 12 feet because you have the zoom pushed all the way down. But if you pull the zoom all the way up and you pull it back 12 feet, it would overlap your screen easily. By them doing that demonstration, they can show that, look, I can bring it back 12 feet and maintain a sharper image, of course, because the pixels that you have are much tighter together, which means that because you have the zoom down, as you start to move down, they very barely move out as the screen starts to expand. You still can maintain a sharp image because your pixels are so tight together when you start it off. But if you have it expanded out and your screen starts to push back, now the pixels are being strained. Image gets bigger, pixels start to expand, it gets strained. You see what I'm getting at here? That's why I tell you at the end of the day, you fellows have to understand, I have more knowledge at the end of the day, or any time, in any year, basically when it comes to this field. I can explain things to you on a level that you will not understand. Did you explain that when you did the demonstration, how pixels are, how they react due to the fact that when you pull a projector back, they start to deteriorate depending on how high the resolution you have on your screen. Meaning that my screen upstairs, sitting back at 18 feet back in a fully lit environment on a 127-inch screen, has a 600 by 800 res count. And the fact that you can't see a screen door, and the fact that the image comes up crystal clear in a well-lit environment, shows that my technology is more superior. Because I don't have to use a high resolution projector in order to maintain the structure of my pixel count to keep a sharper and brighter image due to the fact that I'm using a basic 600 by 800 res projector. You gotta think about that stuff, people. Now we go to form sites and they ask about my projector. They go, whoa, wait a minute, that's what? Over there, 18 feet, that's a yes. We're 600 by 800 res. Do you have any idea how much stress the pixels are going off on my screen right now every time I fire that thing up? We don't have the 4K or 1080p, which is something that's going to have a massive amount of pixels, which means if you pull it back, you're still going to be able to maintain a sharper and brighter image. No, we're at 600 by 800 res. There we go. All right, so, and on top of that, oh yeah, we got the 3D mapping equipment here. This is something you guys don't do in your demonstrations. You know why? 3D mapping on a gray screen looks like, ugh, at the end of the day, and it does. It looks like trash. If you're doing visual effects, like at a DJ or a club, we all know when you watch visual effects, if you go on YouTube, the backgrounds are always black to make the colors pop a little bit of boom, 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 boom. How does that look on a gray screen? All right, there you go. All right, so we got to bring this upstairs. We're going to bring this upstairs. All this equipment has to be pulled out. Or it's a gaming application on this thing too. I got gaming on this. We're going to pull all this stuff upstairs. We are going to, and I got to do a 3D map for the floor too, but we don't have the surfacing yet. We got to take that upstairs. We got to hang those up on the wall. And unfortunately, I do have to drill the wall. Yeah, it's for work. I got to do this for work anyway. All right, so that has to be done. And then we have to tear the floor up and reverse the floor because we have to paint that screen and get that ready for demonstrations. I have to go upstairs and do a demo. I got tape on me right now. I don't get tape on me. This is why Mr. Bird is running around looking for 100 remote controls, tapes, and stuff, putting this in the drills and still wiring rooms in. And mind you, I got my own personal life to take care of. I got to have mop my floors like there's no tomorrow. Take out trash and everything else I got to do in this place. Keep my house tidy. So I'm hoping that Mr. Bird did remember to take a roll of tape with him because I ran out of tape upstairs. We're going to be painting in 2 screens. So the 2 screens we're going to be painting today, we're going to be doing a demonstration painting our product on a wall screen. And then later on, I'll show you how to build this right here. The ultimate sound bar. That's when it has the lights flashing back and forth. That move back and forth. Yeah, that interesting thing. What the heck is my, oh, all right. I'm gonna leave that on today. And I gotta wash up paint rollers. We gotta do the 2 screens upstairs, get that done. So yeah, gentlemen, I do more than my day than you guys. And the reason why, if you want to joke about why Mr. Bird is always covered in paint and sawdust and everything else in the day, because at the end of the day, I work, guys, I work. And you guys don't. You guys get up on the camera, talk a whole lot of junk about this, that, and the other. You can't even back your products up at the end of the day. And meanwhile, I'm in here building an entire room. Look how white it came out. Everything came out nice and white. Isn't it beautiful? I love when the paint finally dries, which I didn't realize. I found out something new about the paint. I'm off topic real quick. As I'm putting this paint in, I got this really heavy duty, bright, extra white paint for the room. And as I'm painting it in, some of the paint, I can see some of the black pushing through. But I didn't realize this stuff, when it dries, it completely seals everything over. So I use way too much paint in here, which I've never used that paint before. But you live and learn. So I decided what I'm gonna do is, I thought I was gonna do all this, the rest of it in the same color, but I wanted something a little different. So we're gonna put a little off-white here, still gonna be white, to give the room a little bit of kind of an attitude. But I don't want it to be any black, I don't no colors in here. White as possible. That's projector, I got projector repair to do today too. So we're gonna paint that screen over there, because I told you it's got that dark blue, this technology we're developing, we discontinued. We're gonna paint this one black. We're gonna paint this one. That's just so we can cover up this coating so we can go back over top of it and turn it white. Because right now, if we go over top of it, it turns to blue for some reason. So we might just utilize it in a demonstration. We'll paint over top of it, do a paint on demonstration, paint a screen in there, do a display here, do a display there at the same time, back and forth, running in the environment, something pretty cool. And then after that, we'll come back in, boop, 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 paint over top of it. We're done, we're finished. That's it. So we might as well utilize and use it for something. There is the black screen right there. We showed up in the demonstration with the ultra short throw. That is going to be hit with the 1,000 lumen projector. We got that test to do. So we still have a distance test to do on a 1,000 lumen projector. We still have certified tests that have to be done. And then I still have to be outside today. Woohoo! So not even finished, but this is the room we're designing for the P2. I told you when I saw that promo for that projector, how all that white light they had in that environment, I said, oh, I want the same thing. I want the same thing. That's what I want. Now, I'm not going to get the exact same environment like how they got it decorated, but I'm going to get those white walls and they're definitely getting it. And this is where we're going to display the P2 at 150 inches right on this wall. So we're going to build a customized screen for the P2, and everything in here is going to be in bone white. Just to show you at the end of the day, we can display in here in a fully lit environment. That technology is going to absorb all the white light in this environment, and it's going to come back and bring an image. Oh, wait till we do the lights out demonstration. Woohoo! That's going to be crazy. So these are the lights we're going to be using. These are the LED lights we're choosing to use for the room. These are super, super bright. These are LED lights that they use. They're not the kind of LED lights that you get for light strips. These are different. These lights are used for basically when you go to, like, say you go to a hotel lobby and they got those bright white lights under the counters and the bookcases. That's what these are. These come with remote controls. Let me see if Mr. Bird can figure out where his, got two remote controls here. These lights use remote controls. So they got dimmers and all this good stuff on them. Let me see what we got going here. That's the 38 Black Widow coded in right now. And these are the projectors we use in this environment. Again, this one room by itself does more than you guys do in your demonstration. This is how much window light we push in the room. See, I don't have anything blocking my curtains right here. Plenty of light coming in. You see outside the windows, but no problem. We got the overhead 144-inch screen, which is way bigger than what you guys are using demonstrations. We got portrait mode here. We got another projector set up here for the gaming system. Second projector over here fires off with the Fire Stick. And then when we want to blow out the whole screen, we got the ultra short though right there. The screen runs 4 projectors. Now, what we need to find, oh, there's the Apocalypse customization. You guys do anything like this? We're going to do a couple more customization projectors. That actually matches my matches my Fallout stuff. We have a screen that matches that too. Same nonsense about speaking on projection screens. Telling people at the end of the day that you can't paint a motorized projection screen. You have to use your product. Because at the end of the day, your product basically allows the screen for the motor not to jam up. Not so. Not so, Danny. Not so. You know why, Danny? Because I own 3 of them. 3 motorized projection screens that I went in and custom painted. And some of these have somewhere between 4 to 5 applications of paint. And we've taken them out and we rolled them up and we rolled them down. We rolled them up and rolled them down. And these particular screens, all the screens should burn out faster than anybody else because these are cheap $68 projection screens that have crappy motors in them. And guess what? We're able to paint them and convert them into those. My workshop section. Hard drives, lamps. Yeah. I have a TV in here somewhere. Let me show you how we treat TVs at the end of the day. We have a TV in here somewhere. In that mess. Down there. We need for a demonstration today too. We need for a demonstration to put against the screen. We even went in and did a demonstration. That's why I said y'all don't do anything different at the end of the day, man. You gotta have that. When you do demonstrations on your screen paint, you gotta do something way outside the box that nobody else is doing at the end of the day. Like doing a demonstration in a snowstorm. That was the funnest thing. It was cold out there, but it was fun to do that demonstration in the snow. The wow factor we got off of that because people don't do that kind of stuff. You guys do the same traditional. Like I look at, I'm not trying to bust on Partay's setup, but its setup is traditional. You have the same traditional setup that everybody else has. In my environments, they're not the same. We got in one room, we got screens that project off the ceiling. In another room, we got the entire screen turned into a galaxy. We call it the blue zone, where everything glows the light into the screen, elevates and gets off blue. Same environment, same stuff. You guys can't think outside the box. Now, let me show you something here. This is a projector that I dismantled, took apart, and cut it in half. Why? Because when people use gray screen paint products, they're only getting half their projector. See where I went with that? And you are only getting half your projector because you show me at the end of the day where a gray screen, mind you, our technology can pull a white level to blend into your screen with no problem. We can knock out certified, and you've never done a certified screen before. How would you call yourself equal to us? Have you, again, if you haven't done any of your demonstrations, any of them, How do you consider yourself equal to us? So at the end of the day, people are, yeah, literally getting half. You don't work well in dedicated theater rooms, so you splash white light all over the place, which we've seen that in demonstrations already showing live. You can't pick up color in there. You don't pick up contrast. You pick up a somewhat white level, but even at the end of the day, a white screen picks up a wider height level than you. So where do you go with that? And you can't see contrast. What's the point of you going out and with these projectors today, they're putting more and more heavier contrast levels on them. You know why? Because they're trying to compete with TVs at the end of the day. That's the other half that those two miss out on, don't understand. Projectors are in competition with TVs because a TV can be set up on the wall, doesn't have to have any of the curtains or dark environments or none of that stuff. And that's their selling point. Why get a projection screen when you're gonna be sitting in the dark all day long? Who wants to go through that? That's their campaign against us. And you guys go in there and do these demonstrations in the dark on ultra short through projectors, constantly in the dark. Meanwhile, I can go outside on a 150-inch screen and I can display a snowstorm and a snowstorm on a black screen. There you go. So at the end of the day, if you can't go up and do a demonstration on a 150-inch and show off a star field, because I can do that. I can show white levels. I can show anything I want off my screen. You can't do that. I can give you a challenge right now. PARTAY and CROW today. I want to see you outside with a screen bigger than 100 inches outside and show me a solid contrast level at 18 feet back. 720p. Can you do that? You can't. Can't even do it inside. So this is the whole purpose when we say you only get half the projector. Because at the end of the day, if I take my screen and I paint it and I put your screen in the middle of it, we can basically pull better color and better contrast, and we can max next to your white levels. My friend sat there and said, crystal clear. He said, how in the world are they comparing yourself to you? How many certified screens have they done? I said, pretty much none. Have you done over 10 certified screens on your products? There you go. You're comparing yourself to me. I don't get how that works. So, I got this TV in here. I might as well do something with it, right? So let's have some fun today. What we're going to do is, see, this is the crazy stuff that pops up in my head that you guys don't do at the end of the day. Now, I seen you do a demonstration next to a TV. You know, the sad thing about that was you only stuck the colors. I'm going to show you people how we do it over here. Now, we got a TV right here, right there. We're going to put the screen up. Let's see how we're going to do this. So I'm going to hang the screen up on the wall. This is another demonstration already in a day. On top of demonstrations, I just thought of another demonstration to do on top of what we're going to do. But I want to do this one because this is going to be fun. So we're going to hang this screen up on the wall. I'm not worried about it. We got some putty. We got the paint left over. I can just go right back over the top of it. I don't care. But anyway, we're going to hang the screen up on the wall. We're going to take the TV and put it at the bottom of it. And we're going to show a demonstration. And mind you, PARTAY and CROW, I want you to listen to me when I say this. When we do these demonstrations, we don't do pretty colors splashing across the screen. We're going to do red, blue, green, all the colors, because they need to see that. And we're also going to do contrast levels, and we're going to do white levels. You guys don't do contrast levels a lot. You don't. You shy away from those because at the end of the day, you don't pull shades of black. You should pull actually gray at the end of the day. So we're doing that today. Let's put a TV against this thing and see what happens. All right, that'll be fun, won't it? All right, so this is going to be something else I'm going to do today. Let me get my... I don't know if I have to take my lights off the back of this thing. I'm going to put these at. I think we'll put a strip of blue behind the back of the screen. Isn't that be pretty cool? I mean, I got this little bit of LED lights here on the back of the TV. I'm going to use this for the back of the screen, give it a nice strip of blue. We put it against the white wall. I think they look very pretty, huh? Let's do that right there. This is going to look pretty cool. This is stuff. And then we still got to do the paint on screens here too. So I'm just going to do them all in one hit. So we'll do one video of the TV versus the technology. We still have a certified screen test to do. We have long throw and low lumen test we have to do. So that's why, Crow and Jamie, at the end of the day, why I have so many video demonstrations. You see how many tests I have to run for the day? It's a lot. And every time I do one of these, I upload a video so we can have proof that it's done. So I can go back and say, hey, look, remember when I did the demonstration where I did 5 demonstrations in one day showing off our technology versus black film, black fabric, anything we could throw against it black at the end of the day. Because when we go in, we have customers to say, okay, what's the difference in your product? Oh, here's a demonstration strictly on black film. Here's a demonstration on fabric. Here's a demonstration on paint. There you go. Guys, don't do that. The demonstrations are way too short. Missing so much information. All right, that's for today. So we got to get a fire stick separate for that one. That's going to be for the day. And right now, while we're up here, we got to set up new lights we can put onto the back of the screen to give it a nice soft blue for the background. That'd be nice for some demonstrations, some pictures. I need this wall for pictures too on top of that. And I got to take pictures today. But let's get outside because I need to see the condition of the screen. The screen we have outside is a Black Widow 38. Sorry I didn't get a chance to see the coat the screen. We'll get plenty of time to see the screen get coated. I got to do more of them. I got to do much more of the screens. You see my account when it showed you how many times I ordered that screen? 19 times. I've had every size they have over there. So we have to go outside. I got to go check the screen. I got to take a look at it. So this is the weather test. I'm gonna look at some koi fish. I don't think I'm gonna look at the. Well, I gotta figure out my fire stick too. Is this the right one for this one? Koi fish. We'll find out in a few minutes. Oh, it'd be freakishly weird if this one was actually the one for that one, and then. Ah, oh, Mother George! It was right here the whole time. I couldn't see it. My sofa's black. Because I saw this one. Koi fish. 3D. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm looking at this right here. I'm like, what the freak? Then I just realized that I had remote controls here the whole entire time. I couldn't see it because the sofa's black. I'm not going to see that. The sofa's black. All right. I'm gonna go mad one day, literally. You know, see Mr. Bird come on camera talking about fire sticks, fire sticks. Yeah, I got like 12 of these bad boys running around the house. And when I keep getting mixed up, at the end of the day, I'm sorry, this is my fault. I got to take some red tape, green tape, blue tape, purple tape, and stick it to the ones so I can see which ones go to which. It'll make my job so much easier. I don't know. Maybe I enjoy the scavenger hunt. I don't know. Imagine that's like getting up in the morning, walking back and forth, and seeing that move back and forth across your ceiling. That's why I said, stuff like this alone would be a challenge for you guys. You can't do this on the screen. Watch this right here. Let's see the lights on for a minute. Let's do, let me see. 4K white screensavers. I like to do outer space. They have this one, and I can't find it. It shows this city. Like, literally, the city's over top of you. I don't know if it's an Apple TV display. I don't know who has it. But it's the coolest thing ever. And I want one of those for the floor. Oh. Something just popped into my head. I should do my floor and ceiling in here at the same time. Why not? See, it's the issue with the ultra short throw. It's right there. Is that possible to run 3 projectors in here at the same time? Because I want the floor done too. Why not? That'd be cool. I can walk across the floor and the floor be doing cut fish and stuff and we have it bouncing off the ceiling. That'd be crazy. And then the screen we do it at the same time. I mean, I literally got enough for a big enough screen right here. I can call it the virtual room. Something pretty cool. Because we're already building a case for this. See, it comes down to the projector. That's what it all comes down to for doing the floor. We could do the floor even with the projector there. Because I can just coat the projector. I only have to take it apart. I have to take the projector apart and basically coat it black with that technology so it blends into the floor. That can be done. That's not hard to do. It's just work. That's all it is. And see, this is why Crow and Danny Boy, as you're seeing me sitting here, staring at my floor, getting the blueprints in my head to build what's going on in my head of what I want to do to the room. I'm literally thinking about projecting off my floor. I got 5 of those projectors upstairs. I can easily do it, no problem. So that's why I said, that's why I have so many videos. That's why our demonstration, you're not on our level at the end of the day. I'm literally thinking about projecting off the floor. We got the ceiling knocked out already, but I'm thinking about the floor. Do you know how cool this would be if we could turn the floor into liquid? Especially with that 3D mapping equipment we got upstairs too. I can play with the floor all day with that stuff all day. Now, we don't want to change out the wooden floors. We don't want to change it out. We want to be able to maintain the wooden floors, but I still want to be, and we have to get rid of the rug. So what we'll do is we'll get a yoga mat. Yoga mats are quite costly. They are. For that size, it's cost what, $200-300. But that's the only thing I could think of. Oh, no. No. If we puzzle the floor, that would be cheap. And it won't be expensive. And with that black technology, we could blend it in. You won't even see any of the grooves or nothing at all, period. We could puzzle the floor. Heavy duty Velcro it right to the floor. We just need the edges Velcro. The middle we don't need. If you Velcro the edges, it pretty much tightens the screen in the middle. It's not going to go anywhere. So we could do that. Oh, that would be sick. Now, if I don't want to take apart the projector, let me see. What I like about the Sony projector doesn't have a lot of buttons on it. It doesn't. None at all, period. Nothing at all. I could coat this with a black technology and convert it turn this into a screen. Literally, easily. Not hard to do. Just like I did the Apocalypse projector, I could turn this thing black, coat it with 38 technology. So it'll blend into the floor. So when the projector hits it, it'll basically blend that right into the floor. You won't even see it. It'll camouflage it. That's what we want to do. New project! All right. See? That's what I'm talking about. That's why my brain functions 24/7. And you guys want to call yourself being on my level. So right now, I'm just figuring out how to basically blend a projector into a floor so we can use a floor projection setup. So that way we can project on the floor. Turn the floor into liquid, ceiling into liquid, have the fish moving back and forth at 235.1. Oh, that's going to look sick. But we got to paint that right away. That has to be painted right away. So let me go order more of the formula because we're just about out. Once we do the 2 walls upstairs, we're going to be done. So we're going to order more of the formula and we're going to sit down and we're going to paint this bad boy. So this is going to be out of commission for a while. I need to tape it up. It has to be taped up first. Tape I can get shipped in overnight. So we're not going to be using this anymore for a while. We're going to basically start getting ready to get this thing taped up. This is the one I would choose to do at the end of the day because at the end of the day, this one is an easier one to do. The ones that have buttons all over them, I got to take apart so much stuff just to get to so much stuff. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to actually cloak that thing. And how we're going to test it is once we paint it, we're going to hit it with a projector and get the projector to get it to blend into a background. All right, let me see. I'm going to come here first. Let's go over to, yeah, so this rug, this carpet's got to go. See, this is the reason why my brain never shuts down. This environment was supposed to be turned into an old-fashioned retro environment off the rug because I like the rug. We're going to do this nice trim around the screen and all that. Boom, that quick. Brain changes that fast. That's why the environments change out so quick. And then I started building on that. And then I'm like, okay, we get a couple hours of enjoyment and boom, the idea pops up. Let's build this. Let's put this together. Yeah, this is all day. This is what goes on in my head. Constant building and designing stuff. So now what we're going to do for this room, we're going to do a 235.1 and 170 inches or 150 inches. We got to measure, see what's going to fit in here. I want a screen to stretch from here to here. Oh, crap, I forgot about that. We just paint both of them. I don't care. Just paint both of them. We can't use that projector in here. We're doing a 235.1 because it doesn't have a 235.1 setting. We're going to use a ViewSonic as a 235.1 setting, which we had in here before, which I should have kept it in the day. That's an easy projector to coat over. It is. It's an easy projector to coat. Not hard to do. It doesn't have a lot of buttons all over it, so it's easy. We'll just do 2 of them. We'll do this one as a test run. This will be the test run projector, which we're going to paint. We're still going to do the floor at the bottom with it, and then we'll go out and we'll basically, if that works out well, then we'll do the other projector, because that one's $300. The other projector's going to cost me like $1,300. So it's not going to be cheap for the other one. So we'll do this one first and have some fun off this one first. Coat this one, turn this one black, put it on the floor, hit it with a projector, see if we can get the blend in while it hits the screen at the same time. We'll run a test run off that. And then if all works out, we're still going to use this for something else too. Because this projector has a stand that allows it to stand upright. We can use that too. Because I do want a table projection screen here. I do want one. I was thinking about converting my dining room table, just buy a whole new table that's glass, put a projector underneath of it, so I can basically watch TV at the same time and advertise the Invisible Black Widow and eat cereal and watch cartoons. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that. And it still had the Miami Vice design to it. Because it's clear, I can put that blue or pink around it. Oh, that would be hot at the end of the day. A clear table with that black coating on the top of it with a projector underneath of it, I can watch cartoons and eat my food at the same time. Mine, you can tilt and put it in keystone so it tilts like this. So it looks like it's standing outward. Oh yeah, and put some nice hot blue and pink at the bottom. So mine, oh, that'd be sick. Another project. See, the brain don't shut down anytime soon. So yeah, this is going to come out not anytime soon. We're going to put a yoga mat in here. Look at this joker. Oh, you got to be on camera. Show off. Show off. Show off. Anyway, we're going to put a huge yoga mat in here. We're going to put the projector there. And then where we're going to set the ultra short throw projector, where we put it at doesn't make a difference. This is going to hit the whole floor. Or if we do 3D mapping, it would be even easier. 3D mapping would allow me to be able to map out where I want it to go, which actually I just should buy another 3D mapping unit and just 3D map the entire floor, which would be much easier. But we're still going to need the black surface to do it. You can't 3D map the floor. It doesn't work that way. It'll hit the floor, but it'll look crappy as I don't know what. It's better if you got that black surface to project off. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to 3D map the entire floor. Well, this section right here, because I can paint where I want it to go. Because if I put a projector here, the projector is going to splash that. It's going to splash this and that. We can't control where it goes. But with the 3D mapping software hooked up to the ultra short throw projector for the floor, I can paint anywhere I want, and that's where that image is going to land. Bam! At the end of the day, that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this we're going to 3D map the floor. And since it's portable, that's a portable unit. So all I have to have is a system stationary, probably about right there, with stationary right there. Put it right there where Groot's at. And then all I have to do is come in, hook up the equipment. Doo -doo. That's why I got that portable unit. Hook it up, doo -doo -doo, and we're done. That's it. Throw a laptop or a tablet right there and there, and have to come in, put everything to program it. Boom, done. That's it. 3D map the floor. Be done. That's all. I'll put a tablet unit right there and run it. And it runs off Wi-Fi. We got the booster down here, so we're good. That's what we're going to do. We're going to 3D map our floor. And that's good for a company advertisement, too. So we're going to do the ceiling, and we're going to do the floor. I'm going to build you, Taco, a brush, like a giant brush that you can rub your face against, like multiple areas. He likes to rub his face on stuff. I'm thinking I should just build him something. He could have multiple, like rugs, like a sample wall with rugs and stuff on it. Something he can constantly rub his face. He can rub my face on the rug today, and maybe I'll do this over here today. I have something like that. Certain things he can use to rub his body on, because that's what he does all day. I'm going to build him a wall. They have it for cows. They have a unit set up where cows can go in, and cows can rub their body against, I guess, a groom. Some of you have shaggy cows. I forgot what they call shaggy cows. I want to do some outer space up here. All right, people. I'm a bit tired. Let's see. No. All right, so we're going to paint that projector. Shouldn't be hard to do. I mean, the whatchamacallits are not hard to do, but I had to take apart some parts to get to that thing. The NEC projectors. Let me see. Got Frank Sinatra stuck in my nose. Now I was painting the room. Do. All right, let me see. And I still got to pop outside. Oh, can we do this one right here? Oh, I'll take that. Now, mind you, this ceiling up here, we have, I want to do stars. I want to get out of space I'm walking around. I'd rather have that instead. This ceiling right here has phantom. This is going to be, we're going to be doing a paint job. We're going to paint the ceiling in. You guys get a chance to watch me paint the ceiling in with the 38. That'll be fun. What is this right here? That's shimmering. I want stars, man. I want some stars. What do we got here? Illustration, particles. We're not doing particles. I want stars. No. Oh, what about this right here? It's got the movement. No, I want stars. What's this? No. Oh, there it is. and they don't get it. I'm sitting there, from time to time I forget. And when I leave with the video, when I see you guys on my level, I'm sitting in my theater room looking at my ceiling while the lights are on, trying to figure out what I want to watch off a 150-inch screen on a projector that cost me $130. If I want to do a short and sweet video, this is all we'd have to do at the end of the day. That's it. That's all we'd have to do. All right, let me see. That's remote control for that one. So let's put that over here. And since Mr. Bird is not a millionaire, we don't need to burn lights while I'm not in here. So we still have light coming in. It gets well lit in this place. All right, let's go pop outside. This is why I even had breakfast yet. Let me see. You got keys on me? Oh yeah, you got keys on me. You got your treats, right? This morning you did your treats? Okay, whatever. Let me see. I think you got treats today. Yeah, you did get. No, you didn't get treats. I forgot. We got up pretty early this morning. And you need food. And you need. We got water in there, man. Yeah, no water in there. Man, hold on. I gotta take care of my cat. Why are you giving me the angle of like food, man? I want food. Do 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 do. The cat does not drink spigot water. We gotta order some more bottled water, boss. You need more bottled water. Can you get your cat spring water? Yes, I do. I get my cat spring water. My cat does not drink spigot water. Between the cat and 2 of the cats outside, ate the majority of this cat food. You and your brothers. The one person that left the room must hate cats. I like them both, cats and dogs, but at the end of the day, guess what? I didn't get any rodents in here chewing on wires, cables. I can leave food out at the end of the day and not have to worry about nothing eating through it because that right there kills it. Yep. And this area, it's a bit of a wooded area because we got the golf course. We get quite a bit of field mice. You ever seen field mice before? They're not exactly black. They're actually, hey, get out of there, Charlie. They're not, they chew everything. And keep in mind, you understand, when you eat and the food resident that's on your remote control, they would chew the buttons off your remote control, wires, cables, anything. Burrow holes, yeah, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, well, we don't have that problem because we got Taco. Taco's already killed like 2 of them. All right. I got you. Some treats here. There we go. Helps his breath smell nice. You got one more treats for you. Helps his breath smell nice so he don't smell like in the morning. All right, let's go here and check the screen out. See, he goes right for the treats first. He won't even eat the food. He likes the treats better. But that helps him with his breath and his teeth and all that stuff like that. You know what I mean? Makes his teeth strong and all that stuff like that. He needs that. Because when I first got him, he came up and breathed in my face. I was like, oh, we got to do something about this. This cannot be an everyday thing. You know what it means. All right, that's the plexiglass screen. We coated that with a paintbrush. No, sorry, my bad. Oh, goodness gracious, Bird. You got to get some sleep, dude. More sleep. Paint roller. That was done with a paint roller. See how smooth that one on? That's a 38. That's how smooth 38s go on. All right, so we have this one to do for a company today. All this stuff over here. Let's go. Let me see. This is going to be done for the 3D mapping for the day. In the next room, we have to do this. This is the demonstration we have to do on wood. These over here. We have the plexiglass screen we have to do for the test for the kitchen. All this equipment has to come apart. I don't even have to bound it. Did I bind some of this stuff? All right, whatever. We'll get this later. This is going to be off camera because that's going to be a whole nother section on its own. That's the equipment for 3D mapping. So we need that upstairs. And I got to flip the floor today too. Damn, I have to do that too. I'm done. forklift. Do, 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 do. And I'll tell you something. I guarantee you that he didn't change what he put on his site after we showed you that you can't do it. You know why? He's not going to change that. It's a pride thing for him. He's not going to change that because at the end of the day, and I'm not saying that I'm going to put that because I think that's I was wrong by saying I'm smarter than you. That's wrong to say it to people at the end of the day. But anyway, he's not going to change it. It's a pride thing for Crow. He'll leave it up there. Just if he even drags him down and strips the shirt off him and throws him into an unmarked grave, at the end of the day, he will leave it there. I know people like this at the end of the day. And it's sad. It's really sad at the end of the day. So what? You made a mistake. Go fix it. That's what you do. Go in there and fix it. But you can't have that up there, man, at the end of the day, because it makes you look like a joke at the end of the day. Keep in mind, majority of people that are going to hit your site, you are basically hoping to have no knowledge of home theater at the end of the day, but you are going to bump into people that are. And they see, they're going to like, what the freak? Nah, that's not possible. No way in the world. I'm not the only one that's going to pick up on that. Anybody, majority, most people are going to pick up on that. I told you, the average person that walks into a room is not going to go in and say, oh, we need 2 quarts. They're going to start off with gallons. That's what they're going to start off with. Even with a bathroom, they're still going to start off with a gallon. That's usually how people think. But you're talking about 2 quarts for 150, 300 in a screen? No, anyone's going to pick that up and tell that, see, that's bogus. And the minute they read that, they're automatically going to doubt buying from you at the end of the day, because if you don't know what you're talking about, why would I even buy from you at the end of the day? So right there, spelling errors, the stuff you have on there just doesn't make any sense. Now, some stuff I know because I've tested your product. I know your product doesn't do this at the end of the day. I know about the fact that when you sit there and say, oh, 3,500 on your Frankenstein, that you're counting 3,500 lumens as a powerful projector. That's not a powerful projector. That's 7,000 lumens right there. Ain't no way in the world that's considered. That's a venue projector, commercial, sitting over there. They come in Roadhouse cases. You ever seen one of those bad boys before? Yeah, it's a 7,000 lumen Christie projector. We use those outside. We don't use those things inside. You walk in front of them, you're going to have problems at the end of the day. So those are used for outside. I used one of them inside. Big mistake. That thing bounced off. Oh, no, I'm not doing that again. I walked in front of, no, bad idea. Bad idea. That was a big regret. Oh, crap. This is a remote control to the hallway. See, looks like a fire stick, doesn't it? So, it's, that's commercial. So you don't even have commercial projector. You don't even own one. So how can you sit there and talk about, oh, my product works with venues? How many venues do you own? You don't own enough venues at the end of the day to even claim that your product works on venue. At the end of the day, judging by your standards, a white screen will work on venue too. It's not if it's going to work on venue, it's what the performance is going to be on the venue at the end of the day. Because if these are companies and they're using commercial time, they want it to look as clean as possible. They want the image to look incredible because they're advertising off of it. It's kind of hard to advertise off a hamburger that doesn't have proper color and it looks washed out and bland. You want it to look appetizing. Like, I want that. Not, I don't want that. There you go. So you don't own anything to be sitting there saying, oh, I do venue. No, you can't say that. But at 35 is not powerful. A PX747 projector by ViewSonic is 3,500 lumens, and they mark that down at Projector Central as a home theater projector. My projector upstairs is 38. And that's a 600 by 800 res projector at the end of the day. So how in the world do you consider 35 to be powerful? You do know how venues work. As I say, he has no idea what he's talking about. People, when you get to even 4,000 lumens, it's not. You have some venues that, the older ones, the older venues are 4,000 lumens. So you get the Christie LWs, 400s, LX 400s. Those around there, Sony VPL FH32s, FA30, FA32, FA31s, around 4,300 lumens. Once you get up to the other ones, a little bit newer models, and they go up to like 52 and up, or 5,000 and up. But majority, when you're running across a venue projector, most people outside are going to be 5,000 and up. That's where they're going to be at. 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. That's where they're going to be at the end of the day. But if you're talking 35 isn't powerful at all, period. Not at all. It's not. Most projectors are 35 anyway. But like I said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. The reason why he doesn't know what he's talking about, because he has no experience in that field. Like I said, simple and plain. I'm going to beat this horse one time. Again, simple. Don't know how in the world you ever got the conclusion that 2 quarts would do a 300-inch screen. Again, 261 in length by 147 in height, 12 feet 3 inches. Your math doesn't add up at the end of the day. That's why I said, you guys, you're not even on my level when it comes to even building screens. Not even when it comes to projector knowledge, because anybody, a noob would do that. Now, a noob first starting out, if he's trying to figure out exactly if a company comes up to him and says, hey, look, we want to do a 300-inch screen, usually a noob does that. I was a noob. I did it myself. There's a noob mistake. They'll think that, okay, if I paint 2 100-inch screens, that would equal a 200-inch screen. Literally, noobs do that. So that's when you first start off, you're trying to calculate how much paint it takes, trying to figure out how much coverage your product has at the end of the day. And he just can't come up and say, oh, my screen coverage is 135. No, Crow, I literally have to paint in a 135-inch screen. And judging by what we saw on your account yesterday, you did nothing at all. There's no paint on demonstrations of you testing yourself against the stuff we told you to test against to prove your product wasn't house paint. There are no demonstrations of you showing your product on doing 2 quarts on a 300-inch screen. There are no demonstrations of you even showing if your product doing 135. The average quart of paint will hit 120-inch. 135, it depends if you have the coverage. If you cover better than most, then you can hit the 135. But not the average can't do it. I'm not saying it can or cannot. It's something that you really have to do yourself. You can't second guess it off your head. You really have to literally do that yourself. So until he comes on YouTube, presents a 135-inch screen, he has no business putting in, it'll paint a 135-inch screen. Because you don't know this 100% unless you've done this and have a recording showing you doing this. You have to paint it in. So with saying at the end of the day that 2 quarts are going to paint a 300-inch screen, that clearly shows anybody in the field in home theater he's never painted in a big screen before. He couldn't have. Who would come up with that conclusion? So for you naysayers that want to argue this, let me explain to you how this works, because you guys get frustrated and angry at the end of the day. Mind you, you support someone who just scammed the living daylights out of you, so it doesn't make you look too smart at the end of the day when you come on here ranting and carrying on. It really doesn't. When I posted that to the forum site, they were like, wow, there are people that support this guy. I said, yeah, these particular individuals do here support him at the end of the day. And it shows he scammed the daylights out of them. Even when we went to the site, and he even checked Crow's website looking for those demonstrations, and they're not there. I said, yeah, that's how they are. They're just sheep. Yeah, sheep are, right? Sheep will follow whoever stands in front of them. You walk in front of a flock of sheep and you move from A to B, they'll follow you anywhere you go. Sheep are mindless animals. They'll follow you off the side of a cliff. That's what you guys are. You're sheep. I can show you evidence all day long. Crows stealing from you, you would follow them anywhere you go because you're sheep. You're mindless. You have no, not the ability to think for yourself, which at the end of the day doesn't make you too smart. But let's get back to where we're getting back at the end of the day. It pretty much that's what it is. You're sheep. But let's get back to what we're talking about here. So at the end of the day, put it this way. When you're painting enough 100-inch screens, he does a lot of 100-inch screens. Do 120-inch, you're at 1 quart, 2 quart, you're in that area. Hit 150-inch, you may get 2 quarts, but you still have to test that theory out and see if you'll make it or not. It still has to be tested. You hit 160, that's going to be 3 quarts. 170, it could tip the 3 quarts to a gallon. That's an either or. That's something you have to test out yourself. 180 will automatically need 1 gallon to do it from the door. The 180-inch screen that you see on YouTube on display, the big black screen outside showing Star Wars, took 1 gallon of paint to knock it out. Actually, it took 3. It took 1 to prime it the first time, prime it the second time, and then we had to knock it out again with another gallon. That's how big the screen was. But technically, it only took 1 gallon. So if you paint in a screen of 180-inch, and it takes 1 gallon to do it, then automatically from the door, anything over top that is going to take more paint. Basic, common sense. That's it. That's why he looks like an idiot on his website. And it shows at the end of the day, he's never painted in a screen bigger than the screens he's painted in now. Because if you did, you would know from the door that a 180-inch takes a gallon, which means a 200, 250-inch, and whopping 300-inch screen is going to take what? More than a gallon. How would it take 2 quarts? That would be some Twilight Zone crap at the end of the day that I would never even understand how that would even freaking function and work at the end of the day. That's how they know that he has never. And how are you going to talk about venues? People use venue projectors that are usually on massive size screens. You don't need to know how to measure a simple screen. And then to make it even worse, when you guys come in and support him, this is how much of an idiot. When people are they're laughing at your comments. They don't laugh at, when they look at the comments, they don't laugh what you say to me. They laugh at you because you're getting so upset that you're coming at me with this nasty attitude because you're supporting someone that clearly scammed the daylights out of you. That's how they see you when you come and you carry on like that. I'm just showing you how the real world functions. They don't look at that and go, oh, yeah, they're getting, no. I'm sitting there as calm as can be. I'm not even arguing with you. I'm having this conversation when you guys are ranting like crazy. Watch the video. They're surprised on how far you're willing to go to expose yourself and rant on a live stream to defend someone that basically clearly at the end of the day cannot back their products up to black and white paint. That's what you do to yourself. That's why we left the chat open. Because in some of our conversation, someone said, who is dumb enough to follow this guy? And I go, we'd be surprised. That's why the chat was open. You guys don't think at the end of the day. Not my customers, I'm not you naysayers. You don't think at the end of the day. Mr. Bird is always 2 steps ahead of you. Always. That's why the chat was left open. Because my people, my forum site, wanted to see who was dumb enough to support this guy. And the angrier you got, the more they knew, the more of a passion you had for him at the end of the day to support him, even though he scammed you and took your money. Which at the end of the day, make you sheep. Make you mindless idiots that will follow someone up the side of a cliff. You ever seen the theory in Bugs Bunny where they have the wolf comes down and he dresses up like a sheep? You know, because he knows that sheep will follow him wherever the head sheep is. So if he gets in front of the pack, the sheep will follow him wherever he goes. Even though he's a wolf, they can't tell the difference because they think he's a sheep and they will follow him to their death. That's the whole funny thing about that. They're mindless animals. They're beautiful animals, don't get me wrong, gorgeous creatures, but at the end of the day, they're mindless. They will follow, and even the Bible speaks of it. Sheep will follow whoever leads them. Regardless if the person is evil or good, or whatever they may be at the end of the day, they will follow them, even off a cliff. And that's what you guys are, sheep. Now you understand the theory of that. I had to break that down for you and everything that went on yesterday. Because you really thought you were coming into the room and you're pretty much disrespecting me, and that in a way that was going to make me upset at the end of the day. No, that was all done to show my people that I do on forum sites that how there are people dumb enough to follow this guy. And that's why we opened up the chat yesterday. So thank you so much for participating in that experiment. So we do appreciate it. Next time you come into the room, be able to be polite, act like you have some common sense, and then you won't be outed as a mindless idiot sheep. All right, so let's get back to this whole 300-inch screen with 2 quarts. Anyway, instead of coming in and cleaning up the mess and saying, hey, look, made a typo. All right, fine. I wouldn't get on if he said he made a typo. People do it all the time. They make typos 24/7 all the time. That's why I got to proofread all my stuff. A big deal. Okay, whatever. Move on. But he didn't. He added more stuff to it. You know what he added to it? He added that if you take 3 100-inch screens and you paint those, that equals the equivalence of a 300-inch screen. Say it back in the back of your head. Just say that. See how dumb that sounds. At one point, it does seem like it makes perfectly common sense. It does, doesn't it? But it doesn't. Because if you know the proper measurements of a 300-inch screen, you would realize that's not going to fit. So we're going to do some math here. I'm not going to insult any of the naysayers by saying that there are chalkboards and sock puppets at the end of the table. Not going to say that. I'm going to be disrespectful to you. But the fact that you supported him and came to ranting and carrying on, math is not your strong point. I can see that right now, because if you thought that was actually good math right there at the end of the day, and that made sense, there's something wrong with your math at the end of the day. Do you know the size of a 100-inch screen? Now, Crow has painted in enough 100-inch screens to know the size and length of a 100-inch because he has experience in this field of painting these screens. 100-inch screen is 4 feet by 7 feet. Now, it depends on the border. Like I said, if you want to get technical about it, it depends on the border. Sometimes you don't get the full 100-inch because then they sacrifice some of that viewing area for the 2 or 3 or 4 inches on how they may make the border. Like I said, be careful when you buy screens. You can buy a screen at 150 inches, But at 150 inches on the screen, it may say, if it doesn't say 152 or 153, they've taken that out of your screen. Because it's supposed to be a 150-inch viewing angle inside. You're paying for a 150-inch screen. But they calculate the border as being 2. So they might take the 2 and take that out of your viewing area. So the screen has an actual viewing area of 148, 148, and you're like, oh, no. That's not right. I paid for a 150-inch screen. But at the end of the day, they take that out sometimes for the border. That's why you see why I like borderless screens, so I don't get cheated at the end of the day. But technically, your screen is supposed to be 152 or 153. That's what it's supposed to be. If it's under that, then they took it out of your screen. So your viewing area is not what it is. Yeah, that's one of the things we got to talk about. Oh my goodness, there's so much stuff. That's why there's so much stuff to talk about. But a lot of people realize that when you buy a screen, literally, you got cheated. You might have gotten cheated. You say no, you couldn't have got cheated, but you might have gotten cheated. All right, so when they measure a screen, they measure 2 ways. They measure the viewing area, which you're going to get on the outside, and they measure the whole physical screen itself, which means the screen itself, if you have a special area you want to put it at, and you need to know exactly how big the actual screen is, that's what that's for. So 4 feet. Now, we're just measuring the screen, the full screen, 4 feet by 7 feet, which should be the actual viewing area, but let's do the whole screen, all right? Now, 300-inch screens, right? They're going to fit in a screen that is 12 feet by 3 inches and 261 inches. If you take 3 100-inch screens, right? Stack them on top of each other. You have 4, 4, and 4. 3 times 4 is 12, right? So you have about 12 feet, but you're missing 3 inches, which will pretty much be the border of the screen. But like I said, you're not going to watch that, so who cares? Now you have the height, but where's the length? Those screens are only 7 feet wide. The screen you have to match is 261 inches. So even though you painted the 3 screens, you still are short by the distance of the screen, the length of it, and you need more paint. All right. Let's see if we stack them low. Stack 7, right? 3 times 7 is 21, right? So you could have some of that in there. You may, I don't know. We'll measure that out, but you're not going to, I think you're going to be a couple inches, a couple feet short of the 300-inch. But now you don't have the height. Because remember, your screen's only 4 feet high. So where's the rest of it? You're still going to need more paint. Let's go crazy. Let's go 1, 2, 3. We'll do it right across. Because you know, when you look at a screen, keep in mind, and for those of you who don't know, when you measure a screen for this, the viewing area is measured this way. This is measured. This is your height. This is your length. And then you'll have something at the bottom where it may say 3 feet or 4 feet. That's where your screen is going to be raised up off the wall. That's how high it's going to be up, have to be up between the floor and your screen, where it's going to have to be in distance for your projector to hit that correctly. Because you don't want to basically size your screen up and then you put it on your projector and you got half of it here and you have to size it in there and, you know, adjust your screen so it fits in there. If you have lens shift, you don't have that issue. Lens shift, you're done. Those are people hook it up and you have a headache. Anyway, so you length it across, right? This way, right? Now you have somewhat length, but you're missing the height. So even though you went in and painted these 3 screens, you are still missing a great height that you still have to paint. So where in the world would 3 screens equal a 300-inch screen? Where? If that's the case, you know how easy my work job would be. Hey, we got to paint a 200-inch screen. Oh, just take 200-inch screens, and that will equal a 200-inch screen. How would that even work? That's going to be 14 feet wide. 14 feet wide, and it'll be 4 feet high. Now, 235.1 standards, oh yeah, maybe at 235.1. Everybody knows in 235.1, the screen's always going to be shorter in height and longer in length. Yeah, that'll be around that area. Keep in mind, when we did the screen outside, the 250 inches, you know how big a screen we got out of that? We didn't get 300 inches out of 250 inches. We got 198. That's what we got out of it at 235.1. Because the screen, even though we put them side by side, we still didn't have the height for the 235.1. And because we didn't have the height, we had to go in and paint the upper part of the deck in order to get that. That's what we had to do. Let me see. We got to do something drastic here right now. Yeah, it's not possible. I'm sorry, people. It's just not possible. And the fact that he calls himself being a professional and he's been in the business that long, you mean to tell me that you made a new mistake like that at the end of the day? No, you don't know what you're talking about at the end of the day. And you can hear him talk on camera. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Been saying the same thing for years. Oh, we still got snow outside. Cool. We might do a demonstration. Oh, the weather's not bad either. Yeah. Do, 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 do. I need one of these. We're gonna just need one of these. Okay, what's this connected to? We need one. I think the last one is here. Last one here. I got my stuff still taped up. I'm still going to use it. I'm going outside today to do a demonstration. Heck yeah, so snowing here. Let's see how much snow we got in the front. What are you doing in here? Oh, this is the power cord. It goes to that. Alright, I'm going to take this off because I don't want this getting damaged. Just one fire stick. I'm going to jack it up. So I need to untangle all this mess so I can do demonstrations out here today. I guess we can fit that in today. We can fit everything in today, right? How is it if you take something out from outside and it's untangled, it's not even tangled up, you just basically just grab it and you throw it in the corner, come back, and it's like in the worst knots you've ever seen in your entire life. But you cannot even have it knotted up, like just throw it in the corner. And literally come back and it's the worst knots you've ever seen in your life. Like literally. Are there trolls running around just knotting stuff up? It's gonna be the craziest thing ever. Like some freaking headsets you get for your whatchamacallit. Always crazy knotted up. And again, oh, but that's just the cord. Bigger than this. Is this thing plugged in? I think this thing is plugged in. This unit is plugged in. Ah, forgot one. Yes. I'll be back. I'm gonna find the charger. All right, I had to get a charger. And I taped up the cables so good that couldn't get into the serger. To plug in the charger. There we go. Ah, there we go, better. 4%. Yeah, so we're gonna be out here today. Tonight, it's gonna be cold tonight, so I gotta bundle up. I guess we'll do a short, sweet video. Let me carry all this stuff on me right now. I gotta go drag me a cord on me. I gotta drag all this cord with me. I'm gonna get to the front of the screen. Watch my cable snag on something. This does that. Oh, look at this. It's perfect. Absolutely perfect. And it's frozen. Look at the ice. It's all frozen. This is why I was tracking right across there. So I kept a trail all the way around there so I can face the projector right there. Everything's sized up to there. Yeah, perfect. The snow didn't melt much. That's good. We can do another demonstration right here. Cool. Cool. Definitely doing one. I got to bundle up this time. I think I found some gloves upstairs. I threw some gloves on. Now see, that's what I'm talking about. The stuff we got set up already today, you guys are not even going to be able to match it today. We're going to do a TV against the screen. We're going to do that demonstration, paint 2 walls in. We do some spray on applications for the acoustic technology. And we're going to be outside today because the weather is good. It's not bad. And I think today is Tuesday, is it not? Is it Tuesday? I missed trash day. Crap. Too many hours. Literally, I work too many hours. All right. Yeah, so we're going to be out here today. That's the reason why I didn't walk in front of the screen, because I didn't want to mess the snow up. So it looks nice. So we're going to be doing another demonstration. I'm thinking about building me an outer box. I want to do an outer box because I want to do an actual demonstration as it's snowing. You know how cool that would be? So I'm actually building an outer box for my unit. It's going to be not like so like you put the whole projector in it. It's going to be something like a housing. You know what I mean? Like imagine a giant doghouse like that over there. Like if we would basically stick the projector inside and have some kind of protection around it, a little awning over top of it to keep any snow from hitting it, that'd be pretty cool. That's what I'm thinking about doing, because I definitely want to do a video with actual falling snow as we record a demonstration on the screen with falling snow. Would that be cool or what? There's the screen right there. Now we can walk on this side because we won't disrupt the snow. Look at it, it takes the punishment. See, when you guys say, oh, our stuff is weatherproof, how do you know it's weatherproof? This is going to be out here for a while. This is going to be in the cold, the sleet, the rain, all the good stuff. Yes, take the punishment. Take the punishment. So at the end of the day, if someone says, hey, look, you know, how do you know if your screens are weatherproof? Well, we have pictures of our screens out in the snow. There you go. At 150 inches. Not on some small little 3x4 or whatever tucked in some under a fireplace. Well, all right, people. Well, guess what? Mr. Bird's got to get to work. I got to take up the floor in here, get that done first, knock that out of the way. Once that's done, go upstairs and get ready for demonstrations. So there's going to be a couple of demonstrations. So you wonder why at the end of the day, when they say, oh, they'll shoot all those demonstrations. No, you don't shoot those demonstrations because your product is boring at the end of the day. What are you going to do at the end of the day? Oh, we paint wall, take projector, hit screen with wall, have lights out, take the phone, go on top of screen, we're done. That's it. The reason why I have so many demonstrations is because our technology does so much at the end of the day. My stuff does more stuff than your stuff at the end of the day. I can do a demonstration on strictly contrast levels. You couldn't even go in that direction. Right now we're going to do I forgot we got 3D mapping application to do today too. On top of that, yeah. You don't do any of that stuff. You do 3D mapping applications? Do you do any one of y'all? No, you don't do them. There you go. None at all. So, like I said, that's why we have so many demonstrations, because we have so much information on our technology where at the end of the day, you guys don't have it. Even my specification sheets alone on this technology are insane. I maxed out 5,000 on YouTube trying to put all the information. I literally had to take of it all. The full amount is actually on the website. And that's the specifications on the technology, which at the end of the day takes no time to paint in, because I was able to paint a 140-inch screen in on the first demonstration. Well, that's the biggest screen we got now. 140-inch, 144-inch screen, and do that at 3 projector application with no problem. All right, well, people. So, people, at the end of the day, that is the difference between Mr. Bird and PARTAY and CROW. Again, your demonstrations at the end of the day, why people, I think more of your customers over here at the end of the day than over there, because your stuff at the end of the day, your videos are boring as I don't know what. I'm just saying they're boring. You guys do the same old stuff over and over again. Crutch projectors, dark environments, you do the same thing over and over again. Nothing different. Look at my screen right there that I have over here, my gaming screen. Push y'all stuff to shame at the end of the day. That thing lights up in every different direction you could possibly think of. That's the funniest screen I've ever designed. Well, we're going to build a bigger one outside. Oh, let me show you the soundboard real quick. Do the same stuff every day. I gotta get some decorate. I think I'm gonna go to IKEA to get some of the stuff to decorate the room upstairs for the P2. Told you, I saw that demonstration with that projector. I said, wow, I love how they did the presentation on that. Because at the end of the day, that projector is not designed to be in the dark. How Crow portrays that projector, it's not supposed to look like that. That's what I was telling you on demonstrations, man. Y'all not even know, you're not even looking at, let me move my charge out here real quick. You're not even seeing the full potential of what that machine can do. It's being dumbed down on this product. That's what it's being dumbed down. But we'll show you what it's supposed to look like. Just like if you go back and you look at any of the demonstrations on the Sony DPL FA30s, any one of the projectors we use in here, any demonstrations, you look at the demonstration, well, they look the same as Mr. Bird. No, they don't, because they were using white and gray screens in those demonstrations. That's what they were using. That's why they don't look like our demonstrations. They dumbed down the projector. The P2 is a very powerful machine. I read the specifications on it. It's a very powerful piece of equipment. Only problem is the fact that the person who's using it and demonstrating it is dumbing down the machine. That machine can pull an image in a fully lit environment without a problem. That's a 2,000,000 to 1 contrast. But then again, at the end of the day, if you display it off a gray screen, you're not pulling a contrast over at all. You're not seeing it. That's the funny thing about the whole thing at the end of the day. The people who developed the projector really thought at the end of the day that they put a 2,000,000 to 1 contrast. That's going to darken the black levels a little bit better than the average projector. But at the end of the day, are you seeing 100% black levels? No, you're not. You're just seeing a darker version of gray. That's all you're seeing. Which we're going to prove that too when the projector gets here and we finish up the room. And we're not going to do that in a dark environment. We're going to do that in a well-lit environment. I want to do it in the exact same environment that they had that projector where they displayed it in that video. That's what I want. But no, it's not meant to be used how Crow's going to use it. We're going to do a, that area up there is going to be set up for like a kind of a, like a second living room. I want like a very nice, comfortable environment, a little stone garden in the back. We're going to do something really nice with that. It's going to look really cool up there. So that's how we're going to set it up. So I can show you that at the end of the day, this is supposed to be in a family setting and not in a dark cave at the end of the day, which you have to lean over objects to see exactly what they are. I need to get some statues too for that environment. Maybe something Roman Greek statues or something like that would be pretty cool. That'd be nice. Oh! Now I told you that the other room we're going to do it turn into like kind of a retro, kind of steampunk kind of environment like that. If you ever saw anything with the Morton Downey Jr. where he did, oh my goodness, Sherlock Holmes, how they had that kind of futuristic but kind of like vintage kind of look to it. That's what we're hooking up the other room for. I'm trying to get my hands on. They said they do have them, but I haven't found one yet. If you ever seen Clash of the Titans back in the day, you'd really have to be old to know that one right at the end of the day. But anyway, Clash of the Titans had the mechanical owl. Oh, I would love to have one of those on a perch in there. That'd be constantly going off all the time in the background. That would be cool. So that's what we want. I think I'm going to take up a little hobby. I like making stuff look old and corroded, like new stuff, make it look as old and corroded. And I think I'm going to start going back into that. I had a hobby of doing that, taking old stuff and make it look like it was really, really old, like it's been stuck in time for the apocalypse. But yeah, we're going to do all that good stuff. That's what I'm doing off on my other YouTube channel, hooking up. But I'm not going to talk about that too much. All right, people, so I got to get ready. I got to take up the floor. I'm not doing that on camera because that's going to take some work. I got to push all this stuff back, pull this up, put the floor over so we can have it clean in here. This has to be upstairs because we got the paint on demonstration for that. And I'm missing blue tape. And I knew I had it on me, but now I don't know where I put it at because I need it for work. We don't have it here anywhere. And you know, Crow, I'm going to tell you something. I'm a very nice person at the end of the day, and I am. And I'll tell you why. There are so many things about you that if I wanted to make your life miserable, or I wanted to expose you for certain things, I could easily do. I could. But I hold back on a lot of things. You don't believe it, but it's true. You like to take pictures inside my house, right? If I were to take pictures inside your house, I know the fire marshals over in California. I do. I know quite a lot of people. Quite a lot of people in California. At the end of the day, your apartment by itself is considered to be an unsafe zone because of the compressed items that you have behind doors and windows that are stocked up. Officially makes your area a fire hazard. And if you're mixing paint products in that environment, This is a house. I can do that here. Can't do that in an apartment. Can't mix paint products in there due to the fact that you're living around other people. My house is detached over here, so there's nothing. And people over here got paint. This guy over here is a professional painter. He's got stuff stored in his garage and stuff like that. But there are certain guidelines within an apartment that you can't have certain items in that area that pose a danger to people that are living around you in that environment. If I wanted to push on that, I can have you pushed out of your place. But I'm not that type of person at the end of the day. But I could. That shows you at the end of the day, when I tell you that I have reach, man, I'm trying to explain to you. I got reach. If I wanted to basically, I can slow down the videos and I can point out areas. When you see me in camera saying, when I look at something, I go, I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to leave that alone. Because I'm not at the end of the day. But the stuff you have stacked up in that apartment with those chemicals in there, easy. Make you a potential risk of a fire. And when you live in an apartment, there are certain guidelines that you have to follow within that environment when you're around other people such as yourself. So you understand that. Do I have an no, I don't. I really don't at the end of the day. Really don't care. It's none of my business. But if you want to take pictures inside my house, I really don't care at the end of the day because I record inside my house all the time, so I don't care. It's just people stuff I have here. I do my nice, my work and stuff like that. I don't mind at the end of the day. It doesn't bother me. But if you want to point out certain areas of my house that are not supposed to be this, that, and the other, my house is up to code. Everything in here is up to code. But I know for a fact that by people I know that are in the real estate business, you are not supposed to have that. Have that in there at the end of the day. You're not supposed to have that in there. Not like that. You can't do that. Like I said, it's none of my business. But that's just to let you know. If I chose to, I could. Very easy. Anybody could at the end of the day. Anyone saw that video and they saw all that stuff packed up in the boxes and stuff you have stacked on top of stuff, on top of that, and then you're making paint in there at the same time, yeah, could report you at the end of the day. You're not supposed to have that in there at all, period. No, anything in there. So within the guidelines, you can have certain things in there that may put other people at risk or danger. There are even pollution laws, noise pollution laws they have in apartments. You play your music over a certain amount of time, at the middle of the day, they'll find the living crap out of you for it. But I don't do that kind of stuff. That shows you at the end of the day where I stand at, where you stand at the end of the day. I don't care. That's your business of the day. You want to live that way, that's what you do. That's your business of the day. It's none of my business at the end of the day. But if I wanted to, that's easy. I don't have to go through any red tape. I'll just contact one of the attorneys and say, hey, look, handle this for me. That's it. Me calling them at the end of the day don't mean jack. An attorney contacting them and talking to them has a lot of weight behind it. But I'm not that type of person. Just like I said, at the end of the day, all the nasty stuff that you do to me and say things about this and making these pictures, that don't bother me at the end of the day. They really don't, man. At the end of the day, when you're in this kind of business, I'm dealing with corporations and business, you'd be surprised at the nasty, dirty tactics that some of these companies would do down through time. And after a while, you develop a bit of a thick skin for it all. And you realize at the end of the day, why be upset? Why be angry over these individuals when at the end of the day, they're clearly showing fear? Once you get to that point in business that you know that people have to come to these tactics because they show fear, at the end of the day, you just see it for what they are. Like I said, I don't fear you in any way whatsoever. Why would I? But if I wanted to be nasty, I could be very nasty. But I choose not to because there are certain guidelines and rules that I have to follow at the end of the day. Just like I'm really sitting here with my attorneys trying to figure out, you have to be handled for what you did. You touched the copyright. You have to be sued for it at the end of the day. But I'm trying to figure out a way to pretty much, you have to go, you're going to court. We have to figure a way how to bring you to court because I don't want your family to go through what you've set up, you did to them. I don't want them to go through that. You could lose everything. You could be homeless at the end of the day. Lose the shirt off your back, everything. For touching someone else's work without their permission. So I'm trying to figure a way to bring you to a small claims court where the fines are going to be a little bit minimum for you. Now, if you take that in a way, we're going to say, oh, was this, that, and the other? Don't do that for the end of the day, man. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, don't do that. You'll put your family out in the street. You might even get a divorce out of it. I'm telling you for real, what's going to happen to you. You'd be surprised. You get hit with a $500,000 lawsuit for touching someone's copyright, then the day you'd be surprised how fast your spouse will separate from you so they don't get hit with that lawsuit too. Because at the end of the day, they're going to look at it like, hey, look, I didn't have anything to do with this. That was you doing this nonsense. How am I getting pulled into this crap? That's what happens. Things get real, really real at the end of the day. So, even though, like I said, all the dirty stuff you do, I could easily do this at the end of the day. I can make a phone call to a fire marshal right now, have an attorney take care of it, and have you removed from your resident due to the fact that you too are operating with paints and chemicals within that environment, and then due to the fact that environment is overwhelmed with clutter. Yeah, it could be a potential fire hazard. But it's none of my business at the end of the day. That's between you, God, and whoever else decides to take upon to, if you have any enemies out there that decide to take that upon, that's them. At the end of the day, I have nothing to do with that. Mary says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So there's a rule I can't cross. All right, people, well, with that being said, I got things to do around here. As for Mr. PARTAY, I am going to show no mercy to you when I go to court. Because like I said, I never gave you permission to take my pictures and use them that way. Me and PARTAY have talked on the phone, besides the whole adolescent saying the same thing over and over again and again and again. How I shut PARTAY up, I just sent him a couple pictures of his cancellations and he gets quiet. And I just explained to him simple and plain, I never gave you permission to take my pictures and use them the way you did. Now, I'm pretty sure he went and talked to an attorney, and the attorney showed up and told him the same thing. We know the laws in Jersey. I have family that live in Jersey. One of my lawyers live in New Jersey, so we know the laws of New Jersey. You're no different from over here in Philadelphia. It ain't like you live in another state or anything. Or you do live in a state, but like you live in another country. The laws are all the same, pretty much. Can't do that. You'd be sued for that. So people, you know at the end of the day that, sheep. That's your new name for now on. If you follow the same thing that you do that these jokers do at the end of the day, you'll get slapped with a lawsuit. And you can go to court and plead in front of the judge. I don't have the money. They don't care about that at the end of the day. You did something stupid, you're going to pay for it. And you figure out how you're going to get that money together. Because mine, the first payment is going to be a doozy. And it's going to be a doozy. They may ask for 20 grand, they ask for 5 grand, they ask for 15,000. They're going to want that up front. You got to pay it. So it's just a lesson to be learned. You know what's funny, real quick before I leave out of here. Do you remember the girl? I forget the name of that girl. She was this girl in the lunchroom. She's the one that had that weird kind of, with her hand going out. Anyway, what happened was she became an internet meme because she was in a lunchroom minding her own business. And she just happened to do this pose. And somebody took a picture of it and put information of it and posted it, and it blew up. And in the end, she sued Google for a ton of money. Because Google had the ability to be able to stop it, even though it shows they did multiple complaints to YouTube explaining that these pictures were violating of her civil rights and violating of her personal privacy and stuff like that. And Google did nothing about it. So Google got slapped with a massive lawsuit. But the people who actually took the picture, they got their clock clean at the end of the day. Because Google has the money to put at the end of the day. They don't. Google can easily put out $4 or $5 million easy at the end of the day. You get slapped with $250,000 fine at the end of the day. You can't put that money unless you have it. Stuff's got to get sold at the end of the day, or your stuff will get sold at the end of the day, but you don't have the money. And on top of that, keep in mind, you still have to pay the lawyers to go in to defend yourself. Then if you lose, you know what happens? When they say you have to pay legal costs, you will pay for their attorney's fees. Oh, good gracious, I can imagine that. And then you got to pay for the fees of your own lawyers and the court costs and the fines and penalties that come along with it. But Google walk in there with their big attorneys and go, all right, we've been through this before. Normal protocol, give them $5 million. It never happened. We remove all this stuff, we're done. And that's it. You're done for the day. You go in there at the end of the day, you ain't got that kind of money at the end of the day unless you're rich. And if you're rich, they're going to take even more from you because they know you got it. And that's what's going to happen. Google has protection. They have something called you ever heard of an umbrella policy insurance? You know what that is, Crow? Or PARTAY, the umbrella policy? Anybody familiar with umbrella policy? Say you're driving a Lamborghini, right? And say your car has an umbrella policy up to $5 million. Which means even though you're worth 40 million, even though you're worth probably 20 million, 10 million, they can only get what's on the umbrella policy, which is 5 million. That keeps anybody from coming in and taking everything you have. So there's a certain limit of money they can get. That's an umbrella policy. So you slam someone's car with that vehicle, they can get up to 5 mil. Unless There's ways they can get around it. You can show that there was damage that's done, like somebody dies or something really bad happens. Then you're gonna have some problems with the umbrella policy. But other than that, it's just the minimum whatever damage. It protects you from somebody taking more. It's like, look, we'll give you $5 million for a block, and they'll take that. You're good to go. That's umbrella policy. Google and them have umbrella policies throughout their entire corporation because they know at the end of the day, stuff is going to get. They're going to mess stuff up. They're just going to get messed up, and they're going to get sued. They know at the end of the day. So that's what that policy is there for. So they have a certain amount of money they're going to give you at the end of the day that you can sit down behind arbitration and you can work out a plea deal, whatever you got to do to get whatever has to be done. Most people, if someone throws $5 million, I have people at the end of the day talking about, the garbage truck juice joke. I don't know if you guys know about that. Anyway, so bottom line, me and my friends sit around, we think about weird stuff, and I say, hey, look, someone gave you $5 million to drink the juice that is compressed off a garbage truck. What'd you do for $5 million? Most people would sit there and go, oh, heck no, I'm not drinking that at the end of the day. But if you were sitting in a room and it was actually $5 million staring in your face, your brain starts functioning differently. You start thinking about, well, maybe it ain't going to be that bad. At the end of the day, I can just drink this and I'm good to go. Because, yeah, it's different than somebody saying it. Somebody says, hey, $5 million if you drink the compressed juice, a shot glass of the compressed juice of a garbage truck. With the money, it's not there. You easily go, oh, heck no, I ain't doing that. I wouldn't do that, so and so and so. But let there be $5 million staring you in the face at that table. What kind of thoughts process through your head? Vacation, paying off bills, investments, all kinds of stuff flow through your head. Things change then. And umbrella policies are for we give you $5 million right now if you walk away. Guarantee. And most people will take that money and walk away. There you go. Business, isn't it fun? All right, gotta go, people. God bless.